How I got into this prison, Larry, because of drugs, my drug use, Larry, my kind of lifestyle that I used to have. I used to do for a living. I used to sell drugs, Larry. You know, I used to live in New York City. I would live here in California, and I would travel back and forth from California to New York. I would sell drugs for a living, and I thought that I was making a good living out of it, and I did have a lot of material things. But you know something, Larry, I was so blinded, and at the end I got addicted with the own stuff that I was selling. And the Lord, in His marvelous grace and His marvelous sovereignty and omniscience, permitted me to get caught up in my own stuff that I was selling, and it got me here, Larry. You know,
did you think drugs were bad?
I thought drugs were going to get what I wanted in life. That was what everybody out there in the world wants: material stuff, cars, houses, clothing.
And you got a lot of that.
And I had a lot of it, and I thought that I had my life made. I thought I had a beautiful wife. I have two beautiful daughters, and by the grace of God, they're still out there, my two daughters.
You're still relating with them.
Yes, and I thought that I had it made, Larry. You know, hopping on those airplanes, thinking that I was somebody when I was a nobody, Larry. I was just a nobody, a lowlife, a drug addict, a drug seller. You name it, Larry.
Okay, so when did the change come in your life?
The change came in my life when the Lord permitted me to come to this place, and I realized how evil of a person I was. I was such a sinner. I was such a sinner, and caught up in all this life, all this crazy life, Larry, and with the Word, and because of Jesus Christ, of what Jesus Christ, the encounter that I had with Jesus Christ, He radically changed my life, my way of thinking, my pattern of thinking.
Did someone talk to you, or did you just have an experience?
I had an experience with Christ in New York City in Times Square, and it was an experience that I could stay here and talk to you for so long, but and keeping it so short. I was in a hotel in Times Square, in this hotel in Times Square called the Marriott Marquis, and I was high for 2-3 days. It was on November 24th, 2007. I can even remember the room number, 1404, and I had an experience with Christ in that room that I would never forget in my life. Christ encountered me. Christ stopped me in my tracks and showed me how such a sinner that I was, and I gave my life to Christ there. But I continued to do the things that I did, and the Lord took my life, and He brought me where I'm at here. And now I'm walking with the Lord, and thanks to Brother Larry, to Carrie, to everybody in the training center, Dennis Martinez, Joe, Sean, everybody. You guys have changed my life, and I'm more rooted in the Word of God than ever before.
So how long have you been in this institution?
I've been here in Calipatria now from 2008, since 2008.
How much more is your time?
They gave me 20 years with 4 months. I'm fighting an appeal right now, and my Lord has already granted me grace, and I'm just have to wait for the full answer to come now.
But in the meantime, you're making the most of your time. What are you doing to change things?
I'm in the Toomey class, the seminary college courses that we're having here in Calipatria, teaching me about Christ, being more Christ-minded, so I could be, when I get out, so I could be a leader in my community to teach the youth that the things of that world ain't worth it. You know how our youth are, Larry. You know, we as when I was a youth, I wanted material stuff. Having right now in this materialistic world, we want the best iPod, we want the best iPhone, we want the best laptops, and we'll go to any extreme to do that and to satisfy and to please our friends. But it's not worth it, because I went through all that, and look at where I find myself at now, Larry.
That was my question, is what would you say to the youth? But you just said it.
One more thing that I would say to the youth: keep away from drugs. It's false. That's what the devil, the father of all lies, uses to bring youth into bondage, drugs, gangs. That's a lie of the devil. So I tell the youth to keep away from that and listen to your parents. Your parents they love you. The things that your parents prohibit you, it's not for your bad, it's for your good, because your parents love you. So listen to your parents, listen to God. That's all I can say, and God will bless your life.